So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tushita Meditation Center, Delhi. My name is Thubten Tenpa, and I'll be leading this session today. So today we're going to be doing a Lamrim analytical meditation. So Lamrim means the stages of the path to enlightenment. And so all the Buddhist teachings are subsumed in the Lamrim, which was composed by Master Lama Tsong-Khapa, who's in the tanka behind me. And by meditating on the Lamrim, therefore we contemplate the teachings of the Buddha. And by meditating on the Lamrim, therefore we get closer to enlightenment. So for this reason, Lamrim is extremely important for our lives. It helps us to transform our lives on a daily basis, taking the very essence of life itself. So just as we could study Lamrim all day and night, likewise we can also meditate on Lamrim all day and night. And by contemplating on Lamrim each day in our daily lives, not only in this meditation session, this is kind of a formal meditation contemplation, but we should try to, outside of this session, contemplate on the points that we've reflected on in the session. And in this way, then we transform each day and throughout all of our day into the path of enlightenment. It also helps our minds to become more acquainted with the Lamrim teachings. And we can also continue that analysis, and any questions or doubts that we have, there's a good thing to engage in. Then those doubts we can contemplate formally if we want ourselves, or if we still can't find the answers within ourselves, we can consult with other senior students, teachers. So by contemplating on the Lamrim, we transform our minds towards enlightenment. So today's topic is the precious human rebirth. So I won't say any more for now. First we'll just settle into our environment. Hopefully we've chosen a quiet, conducive place that's bright and airy. And then found a suitable seating place, either on a chair or on the floor, on a cushion. With our hips raised is ideal, so that our body is slightly tilted forward, or our hips are tilted forward. It helps the contribute the blood flow around our legs. So then sit with your back up straight, and with your head also straight but tilted slightly forwards. And the shoulders relaxed but upright, not slouching. The jaw and the face not contorted or tensioned in any way. Don't clench your teeth, just relax. And make sure your arms are in a comfortable position, with your hands resting in your lap, right palm on top of the left, with the thumbs gently touching, and the elbows pointing outwards, so our arms are rounded, so we have some air flowing under our arms. If you're sitting on a chair, you can adopt the same position with your hands, or you can rest them on your knees. And we'll just take 3 deep, slow, controlled breaths. So making sure you fill all of your lungs with 3rd breath. and slowly out. And then just let your breathing relax into a normal rhythm. And just focus your attention on your breath gently, not forcefully. Just resting your attention on the breath, noticing as it enters either through your nostrils, or you can rest your awareness on the sensation of your chest rising and falling. So we'll just do that for 9 rounds of breathing, just to neutralize our thoughts, to clear away any predispositions that we have. Then we'll reflect on our motivation, generating a positive motivation for this session and for the rest of our day. So we can think it's a miracle that we are alive. Many people our age or younger have died. We have this precious human rebirth, greatly meaningful. The purpose of our life is to benefit numberless sentient beings. The purpose of our practice, therefore, is to benefit numberless sentient beings, to liberate all sentient beings from the vast oceans of samsaric sufferings, and lead all sentient beings without exception to unsurpassed enlightenment. Numberless sentient beings who have been our kind mothers countless times in beginningless past lives, showing us limitless kindness again and again from life to life. Therefore, we must repay that kindness. The best way to do that is to generate precious bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment, by cultivating loving kindness and compassion, unceasingly and indiscriminately for all sentient beings. And I'll just read specific motivation for today. Now, how most unbelievably fortunate it is that I have the freedom to wake up and practice Dharma. In every second there is so much I can do with this human body, not only a precious human body, so extremely rare to find, but one with 18 qualities almost impossible to achieve again. Wow! In each second I have the great freedom and opportunity to create the cause to achieve happiness in all future lives by generating renunciation of this life. Not only that, in each second I also have the opportunity to create the cause to achieve ultimate happiness, liberation from samsara, by generating renunciation of future lives and actualizing the right view. Not only that, each second I have the great freedom and opportunity to create the cause to achieve enlightenment by generating bodhicitta. Each second of this perfect human rebirth is much more precious than the mountains of gold and diamonds, or gold and diamonds the size of this earth. Not only that, it is more precious than even one wish-granting jewel. Therefore, I must not waste even a second of this life. I must make it meaningful, and by practicing Dharma. So by generating this motivation in the space before us, above the level of the crown of our head, about one body length in distance, in the space in front of us, is a square-based throne composed of jewels. Its nature is pure white light, and a pure light of multicolored jewels. And upon that is set a variegated lotus, upon which is a sun and a moon disk. Upon that rests Guru Shakyamuni Buddha in a human form, his body the nature of golden light. He is seated in the cross-legged posture of Vairocana. His right arm is extended downwards, touching the earth. His left hand resting in his lap, holding an alms bowl filled with nectar. His face is beautiful, serene, and radiant, with a smile of loving kindness and eyes like lotus petals gazing down upon ourselves with great compassion. His hair is arranged in thousands of curls, and he has an ushnishna, a top knot, a top with a jewel. And he is adorned with the lustrous saffron robes of a monk, an ascetic. He is extremely kind and grateful to us for taking this time, generating this motivation and intent. And so with that, we will recite the refuge lines, if you wish to join. Sorry, I'm just going to share my screen. So sorry, this is the image of Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. And the 4 refuge lines will recite 3 times in English. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits of generosity and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits of generosity and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Supreme Assembly. By my merits of generosity and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. Now we will recite the Lamrim composition prayer, foundation of all good qualities, which goes through all the stages of the path, just to familiarize ourselves with all the stages of the path. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect, understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful, and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes, and after death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of black and white come and follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negative action and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Seeking samsaric pleasures is the door to all suffering. They are uncertain and cannot be relied upon. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate the strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the Pradamoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all my mother transmigratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing transmigratory beings. Even if I develop only bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of come abiding and special insight. So today, the object of our contemplation and analysis is the Lamrim subject of precious human rebirth, which is the 2nd verse. Last time we did some analysis on the following the spiritual guide, which is the first in the path. So second here, understanding that freedom, precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. So just rest back to your breathing, maintaining the visualization of Guru Shakyamuni in the space before you, and think that he is actually present. So we have this precious human rebirth. We can't deny that. Whether we accept Buddhist cosmology or not, based on metaphysical reality, we can see that even in this world, human beings, now around 8 to 9 billion, compared to animals in this world, they're extremely few. If we factor in all the organisms such as plankton, microscopic organisms, insects, not to mention all the other types of animals that we encounter on a regular basis, human beings are extremely few in this world. Then if we go outside this world, in our solar system, we're the only known life forms. of our kind. And if we extend that to the galaxy and the universe, so far even science hasn't found other life forms to compare to our own. But if we take, so there isn't even factoring rebirth, which is posited on laws of cause and effect as a basis that our mental continuum is a result of a previous moment of consciousness. Therefore, the present moment of consciousness is succeeded by another moment of consciousness. There's no findable beginning to our consciousness. Therefore, we can't constrain our consciousness only to this life, this physical so-called life. So if we, based upon that, we go through the 8 freedoms, or the 8 leisures, and the 10 endowments, which make the 18. So this on the basis of Buddhist cosmology, which also has logic of other realms. So the first, we're free. First freedom we have is the freedom from being born in the hell realms. Extremes of heat or cold, constantly being tortured with the most intense pain we can ever imagine and beyond. How can we use that life to practice Dharma and become closer to enlightenment? It's impossible. We're so overwhelmed by pain and suffering. Likewise, the second freedom from being born as a hungry ghost, the most unbearable extremes of being without food or drink for many, many hundreds of years. You just imagine for one day what it's like being without food or drink. For these beings in the Preta realm or Hungry Ghost realm, food and drink is unobtainable due to their karma. So again, how can we even think about practicing, meditating as we are now? If hunger arose within us, we wouldn't be able to focus right now. Then, if we're born as an animal, again, our lives are so filled with focusing on merely our survival from being eaten, hunted, or even if we're fortunate enough to be at the upper end of the food chain, hunting ourselves, finding our next meal. Ignoring the state of our mental capacity, we wouldn't even be able to contemplate, recognize the Buddha's teachings. We can't discern positive, negative actions. And their survival depends on our ability to hunt and kill other animals. which is self, creates non-virtue, which obstructs us from achieving a higher birth, such as a human being, then we reflect on being, even if we're born as a long life God, we have extremely long lives, thousands of years, filled with luxuries and pleasures of the most unimaginable kind. Again, we're too distracted by those pleasures, even though we have the mental capacity. We're obstructed by our pursuit of those sense pleasures, totally engulfed in them. We procrastinate. It doesn't even dawn on our mind to practice Dharma, to engage in meditation. So we're free from also being born at a time when the Buddha has not appeared. We're in this fortunate time on this planet where Guru Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings are still very much present and being taught by highly qualified teachers and masters. We're free from being born in a place where there is no Dharma. Buddhas of the teachings are present with us. We have access through centers like Tushita and other FPMT centers, as well as other Dharma centers near and far. We have access now through the internet due to our karma. But these teachings won't last forever. It's said that by 5,000 years after the Buddha's enlightenment, they will completely have ceased. Now we're at the midway point, just over 2,005 years since the Buddha's awakening. The teachings are already in decline. Also, the freedom from being born with defective senses. Hopefully most of us have all our sense faculties complete. We're able to listen to the Dharma, experience the Dharma through our first-hand experience. And we're also, most of us, hopefully free from holding extremely wrong views, where we can't even accept to listen to the teachings of the Buddha. So we can see that just based on these 8 freedoms, not even counting the 10 endowments, being born as a human is extremely precious compared to the other states that we could be born. So just rest on those points. Upon the base of the breathing. So just reflecting on the conditions that we have from these 10 freedoms, 8 freedoms, recognizing how fortunate we are, and how this life is also impermanent, can end at any moment. And if we're such a person that doesn't accept rebirth, that is okay. But even more so, it makes our life extremely limited. Since beyond this life, according to that logic, there is nothing for our present consciousness. Then we must immediately take action to create the causes of our own happiness. And based on our motivation, the happiness of others. Our own happiness comes from the kindness of others. Our happiness depends on the kindness of others. By showing kindness to others, one's own happiness arises. So thank you, everyone. So we will do a dedication. Due to my own merits of the 3 times, and the merits of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and sentient beings, may the altruistic wish to achieve enlightenment be generated in my mind and in the mind of all sentient beings, without delay, for even 1 second. And may that which has been generated be increased. And I would just like to